Hi, it's Stephen here for the Idiot Quilter, and I just wanted to share my latest project with you. I've been watching some videos on YouTube where people have been using making quilted covers for journals, and so I thought I'd give it a try with a couple of extra blocks that I've been experimenting with, and so I created this. This is my quilting journal. Now you can see that the front and the back were two blocks that I have just did a simple walking foot quilting design over top of a wave effect. I did embroider my name, however, right here. Don't know how well you can see that. Here and down here. Just my first name. So that's embroidered onto this. And I sewed on a piece of ribbon that kind of coordinates with my colors here. And so that's my closure. So let's open it up. So this just undoes, and then I'll show you the inside. So what I did was, this is basically a reusable cover. I folded the edges over and stitched them at the top and the bottom, and by the way, I did a simple binding all the way around this just using my serger. I didn't do anything elaborate with that. So this little booklet that's in here, or these little booklets, have two pieces of poster board that I cut to size and glued together for the strength, and the signatures that are in here, and there are 3 different signatures, are just held in with rubber bands. Let me show you the center. It's like a traveler's notebook. So I can easily add more to this. I can, if I fill this up, I can add additional sheets of paper in here. I just used a simple graph paper. I printed it out on my printer. My printer has a facility for just printing lined paper, and one of those is for printing graph paper. So I just had it print me off a bunch of sheets, and I cut them down to size, folded them, and they are double-sided. At the beginning of each signature, I did take a piece of decorative cardstock. This is actually a sort of a glossy cardstock. It came from actually a Stampington magazines. They often, in some of their magazines, include some designer papers that you can pull out and use. So that's what I used. I used one of my punches that makes tabs, and I had the plastic protection sheets for those tabs that I just put over top of this, and I just printed out. I just did 3 sections, but as I said, I can add more sections. I can add as many sections as I want to this, and I may as time goes by. So I decided to make 3 sections, one called quilts, for showcasing and making notes about the quilts I've made. This one is for supplies and shopping lists, and this one's for notes and things like that. And there goes Walter in the background. I also included, this is just a half folded envelope where I cut off the flap, and I used a punch to make the little thumb notch, and you can see that it runs on top of the signature, so I have really 2 pockets. I just put in some pictures of some of my current quilts in here, and I can add more notes. I haven't added all my notes yet. That's in the quilting section. In the supply section, similar setup. I've got pockets, maybe for samples, things like that, I don't know. And then my note section. And one thing about my note section too, I've actually added a note, is I have this sheet that I had printed out with some instructions about doing, I think, bindings, and I want to keep that, so I just folded it and tucked it right under the binding rubber band. So you see I can put other pieces of paper in here and insert them as well. It's kind of like a junk journal, except this isn't junk. So there's lots of room for expanding. In this, I included a pen, so I always have a pen with it. Just tucked it right in there. Oops. And so, there it is. That's my quilted journal, my quilting journal. So I hope you liked this video, and there'll be more later on. And there goes Walter in the background again. Bye for now.